All right, so it's amazing how this camera makes my hair look. I don't even know what color it looks in the camera, y'all. I don't know. But also, like, I'm looking here, and it looks a different color in the mirror. But then, like, when I'm outside, it looks a different color. Either way, this gonna be my era of, like, hair color, grown women, whatever. Anyway, so let me close my door real quick. All right, so I feel like I should be doing this, right? And I feel like this is a part of me that I'm getting back, but I also kind of want to document this journey. So I am about to be a divorced woman, with 6 children. My youngest is 2 months old. My oldest is 13. He'll be 13 soon. And I got 4 girls in between my boys. 4 girls in between. So I feel like I want to document this journey because I realized how much I did not have a life while, like, in my marriage and my relationship. I realized how much I lost myself. And so a lot of the time, I spent a lot of time, like, doing devotion, journaling. I even had lost, like, my desire to journal for a while, especially over this past year. Like, I had to make myself start journaling again over the past 2 years. These past 3 years of my life just have been very interesting. So let me kind of recap. So right now I'm currently, like, I've been separated, but I have been in denial about the separation. But the truth is, I think, like, not I think, but I had been pretty much saying I wanted a divorce for pretty much my whole marriage. So I'm, like, in this place of, like, it's my fault and it's been my fault the whole time. And now that it's actually happening, I'm like, what is, like, my life? What's Crystal's life? I'm about to be 37 years old in March. I'm not established. Like, I have no career. I'm not making money. I'm not, like, I feel like I'm literally at ground zero. I am. And so this is the part where I'm, like, figuring out the path of my life. Like, in not allowing regret and shame and guilt to get the best of me. But I feel like I literally have to go back to, like, 14 years old when I met him. I was 14. And so, can you close the door? Hey, close the door. Hey, thank you. Close it. Thanks. So I feel like I've had to do a lot of revisiting the 14-year-old me because that's when I met him. And as I reflect back from, because it's necessary, it's necessary to kind of just recap my entire life up until this point and how I got here. And so one of the things that I'm really focusing on the most is, like, how I was just, I wasn't established. And so here I am about to be a single woman with 6 children and never, ever really, like, taking care of myself, establish myself. And so this is, like, even I feel like I'm all over the place right now. So this is why, like, I feel like I have a hard time kind of talking about this situation. But anyway, this is going to be me documenting my, see, this is my life. Like, I got kids walking in, one sitting down on the toilet. I have no space. I haven't had space for myself in a long time. I don't even know what that feels like. But anyway, this is me not discovering, but recovering who I am. I'm not going to say discovering because I had times in my life where I knew who I was and who I wanted to be, what I wanted to go after, what I desired to do with my life. But I just decided to not. Why? Ava. Ava. Can you put that back in there? But I decided to go after I don't know, just not what I desired to do. And so, you know, hold please. So it feels kind of hard to discuss this. That's why I say, because it's like I'm at a place where I'm figuring out my life, and then I'm raising 6 children. And so, as a mom, I don't feel like a woman, period. I almost feel like I need to raise myself back up, going back from age 14. And here I am raising 6 children. And so, this is very, like, it's a very critical hour for me, time wise. And I have to be led by the Holy Spirit. Like, I can't lean and trust and depend on nobody else, not even myself, obviously, because I'm at this point. So I can't even lean into my own understanding, because I'll see things through my eyes and the what's going on around me versus trying to see what God is trying to do in my life. So I just had a lot of moments where I feel like the person within me that used to dream is rising back up and wants to go back to the desires that she always had, but she kind of let fall to the wayside, and I kind of did. And I always had a desire to, like, I was always a writer. I was always a communicator. I would write music and write stories. I used to sing. I used to record music. Um, I always had journals where I would see visions for myself. Like all of these visions of, you know, having businesses and being very successful and just so many different things. And it's like, now that's who I have to get back to. And so I'm just like, okay, God, you're gonna have to help. You're gonna have to help me with this. Like, you really are, because now I have to unlearn to relearn. And when I tell y'all, like, unlearning is one of the hardest things. Like the scripture says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I am literally every day fighting and capturing thoughts and, like, Lord, transform me by the renewing of my mind, because I wake up every morning and thoughts just come, punch me in the face every morning. Thoughts of what if, should have, could have, would have. Like, these are thoughts that come rushing at me every morning. And I lay in my bed for a few minutes and I just, like, okay, I can't sit here. And so, yeah, I'm just, and it's like, situations like this, oh my God, I could have never imagined, right? Because I had friends. I had 2 friends that I know personally that went through divorce, and I watched them go through that. One I knew very well. One, you know, I just happened to come across her. We became, you know, not necessarily friends, but I don't know. Anyways, I've had the experience of experiencing 2 women go through divorce. And I just couldn't imagine at the time. But I would always ask God, like, God, why did these, why, it, like, and it seemed like that was the only reason they came. Like, I was friends with them for that time. They both went through a divorce, and once their divorce was done, it was like we weren't friends anymore. Like, I was there for them to confide in me, and, you know, like, things like a listening ear. And I would always ask God, like, God, why did you send these 2, my daughter back here trying to be in all the hair products, these 2 women into my life as they went through that, and then after that they were gone. And so now that I'm here, I am just like, anyway, so this is why I'm like, I'm just all over the place, but that's where I am. So this is like my journey to recovering who Crystal really is, and in the light of God, because I have been living in a very dark place for many, many years and not even realizing it, or if I, you know, are being in denial, or just trying to have control over certain things that I just never had control over from the very beginning, trying to fix something, save something that couldn't be saved if it was left up to me. I'm not a savior. I'm not God. So just getting back to myself. And one of the things that I always wanted to do was be some type of influencer, right? Or be on YouTube, or wanted to vlog, and I just always wanted to do that. And so I think this is a time for me to really vlog and just share my experiences and the way that I am, you know, coming out of this situation or recovering my life. And I just want to share that. I'm not on here to I'm not gonna be on here like bashing or blaming or anything, you know, like it's none of that. This is really genuinely me recovering who I am. Um, so yeah, and it's the truth. And I just want to live in truth. Like, I just want to live in truth and enjoy my life. And I remember when, like, the moment that God told me, like, you can enjoy your life. And I was just like, God, I cannot even grasp the thought of enjoying my life. Like, because I didn't know what that was like. At 36 years old, I don't know what it feels like to really enjoy life. I have lived in survival mode since, I want to say 14, but earlier than that, I'm sure, just trying to survive, like keep, I don't know, like, y'all, it's kind of hard to really explain at this moment. Close the door. I'll get you some apple juice in a little bit. It's kind of hard to explain, but like just living in survival mode and not wanting to be controlled by other people, but yet I was allowing people to control me through their opinions and thoughts and things like that. So I've been doing a lot of repenting, a lot of confessing to God, a lot of like declarations, a lot of like and lately I'm realizing that like as I become aware of like the thoughts that are rushing through my mind every morning when I wake up, there's a word for that. It's called rumination. You're ruminating. And like, and that a lot of this stuff is like rooted in pride, self-justification, self-righteousness, don't flush it. Okay. So just a lot of like rebuilding and tearing down things. And so that's where I am. So I'm going to be sharing this journey. So if I get on here and I'm just sharing like I've just been, yeah, you'll be able to brush your teeth. But y'all gonna see raw, real stuff. Like this is truly me recovering my life. Like recovery. I'm in recovery mode. Like people who have been on drugs or they've been alcoholics and now they're in recovery. That's me, because a lot of things I'm learning had become addictions for me, coping mechanisms for me, but it's all like mentally, as y'all can see, like where I'm just don't even know. I don't even know how to start, because I think that's shame and guilt trying to get the best of me and not share where I am right now, what I'm going through. But what's most important for me, and I'll close with this, is like just my life and establishing myself and planting my feet in God in this situation. And just being transformed by the renewing of my mind. Like, I really allowed things to control me that shouldn't have had no control over me. And it was all mental. It was all mental. Like, we built up these strongholds in my life that now are being torn down. And that's where I am. And I just, don't put your toothbrush on that. Just really want to truly enjoy my life. So whether that's as a speaker, whatever this is, speaker, YouTuber, influencer, whatever you want to call it, I just want to be able to be me authentically. And there are parts of me that I'm noticing that I did hide away, tuck away, just to become somebody else for somebody else. And so, yeah. So God, His grace and His mercy is everything. He has kept me through this, and He is definitely redeeming the time in my life. And listen, I'm taking full advantage of it, okay? Because I need just, yeah. So, no more hiding away, no more shying away, no more living in guilt and shame and things like that. I mean, it is what it is. Like, if I'm going through a separation, a divorce, I'm going through a divorce because my paperwork was filed. I filed it, and so I'm going through that. Stop, Ava. And so it's to think about life outside of this is like, it's one of the hardest things, because since 14 and I'm 36, we're looking at 22 years, almost 23 years of, well, this month would have made 20, I don't know, 20 something years in a relationship. Yeah. Well, like I said, 14. So 22 years of a relationship from 14 years old. And I have to tear all of that down to rebuild while recovering myself and living freely from this, and free from guilt and shame and fear, and also raising 6 kids in this, and also like, about to be a mom of a 13-year-old this Thursday. Like, so many moving parts. And so when I should be in a position to really be strong to raise up my 13-year-old son, y'all, and nowhere did I say that I'm doing this alone, but as a woman who, would you stop? As a woman who at 14 kind of gave my life away, now I'm about to be raising up a 13-year-old. It's like I just see myself all over again. Not necessarily in my son, but it's like causing me to reflect, like, where was I at 13 years old, which is was a very critical time in my life, which turned on a switch that didn't go in the best direction for me. So now I'm like examining myself all over again, so I can help my son, not just my son, my daughters, get through this time, because it's transition, and because I didn't have the things that I needed as I was going from 12 to 13, my mind was somewhere else. And so I filled my voids with things that I thought I needed, which led up to this point, which is so much in this. No. So yeah. So this is where I am. I don't know if this is my tea or, just... But you have a toothbrush, so you don't need the lip gloss right now. So this is where I am. And I'm going to be sharing a lot about this journey and mothering, and about mothering and this journey and things like that. And also sharing just my journey of becoming, recovering. Because, I feel like I know who I'm recovering, like what I'm recovering, but at the same time I don't, because I know it's not supposed to look exactly how it looked back then when I was a big dreamer, and I reflect on journal entries and things like that. But it's recovering who God ultimately created me to be. Like, His original intent is what's being recovered, right? So it's like digging for something to find that. So that's where I am right now. Yeah, and as of now, today is January 7th. I was journaling this morning. I was like, okay, we 7 days into the new year. already. And I know this year is going to look so different, but the way that I seek God for the year is very important. And where my mind is at is very important. So, because if I reflect on last year, I didn't think that I would be here this year. So last year, 2023, at this time, I probably had just conceived my son. Not even, I just didn't have plans for the year. I wasn't even thinking about what I wanted the year to look like, how I wanted it to turn out, enjoying it. I wasn't thinking about any of that. Like, so I ended the year with a divorce filing and separation and a new baby. And so the we don't know what God will do, right? But I can definitely set expectations for what I want this year to look like for me, but also be flexible enough for God to move and have his way. And also, like, Lord, prepare me for the unexpected things. Like, I have my expectations. I'm asking you, I'm seeking you for things, but I also have my expectation. I mean, I have the flexibility for you to move, but also give me strength to get through whatever it is that you have coming my way. Like, you, like, just give me the strength, you know, to get through this. So yeah, so in about a month exactly from today, I will, I guess, officially be a unmarried woman. And honestly, I'm looking forward to it, and not in the way that it may sound. I feel like I'll be free of a lot of things, but also, like, just I think about my children, and you know, I just want peace, and I want harmony, I want balance in it all. And so yeah, and that's my cue to go, because now my 2-year-old is like in everything up here. But that's where I am, and I wanted to share. And it's just time for me to open up and share the journey as I go along, without perfection, without expectation, without thinking it should look a certain way. But this is just how it looks right now for me. And that's where I am. Here's to 2024, a year of abundance. Like, y'all, I can truly feel the abundance. I can feel that this year is going to be very life-changing for me, not just in the sense of, like, relationships and what's ending, but that this is going to be a year of extreme obedience for me, a year of just really, God really showing me what I'm capable of because of the power and the sound mind that he has truly given me. And a life that is absent of fear and guilt and shame. Like, it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be life-changing. It's going to be everything. And so I've been telling my children, I'm like, y'all, this is going to be one of the beginning of the best years of y'all life, and what y'all deserve, and that the time will be redeemed for all of us, and that the last 9 months of the year of 2023 is not going to be remembered. There will be no trauma. There will be no seeds of bitterness and anger, anything like that. That God is truly going to redeem the time, and it's going to be memories and experiences created to combat that. They deserve it. My children deserve that. They don't deserve what, you know, they don't deserve any of this. They didn't ask for any of this. And so even just the life that I have lived, I'm like, Lord, you gave me these children to steward them And so redeem the time of my disobedience and the way that I was living, even for them, because it was my choices that have probably kept them from a lot of opportunities. But you are also a God of favor. And so I seen God move so much in these last 9 months. I mean, literally, I rock bottom for me. But I watched him move in so many different ways, not just for me, but for my children. And so I know, y'all, after these last 9 months, you can't tell me that there is not a God. That God doesn't love me and my children. He's not concerned about, and that he's not concerned about me, because he is, okay? So I'm gonna end it here. That's my tea. And here's to this journey of becoming and recovering me. And I'm actually excited about it. I may not seem like it, but I am actually genuinely excited about it. The crazy thing is, like, this numb feeling, but knowing that it's good. It's almost like I'm in between. It's an in between. It's just like I've been through so much, right? Yes. I've been through so much that in between. I'm trying to think about what I can like compare it to. A show or a movie that I've watched that kind of got like, I don't know, it's like a coasting type of situation. It's kind of like when you look at a surfer who is riding, like they start out, they take their board out, right? And so they got it tucked up under their arm. And as they pedal out to go catch that wave, they pedal out and they're pedaling till they see that wave coming in. And then when that wave comes in, they jump on the board and they ride the wave and up and down and they crash in it. And then they get right back up and catch the wave again and stuff like that. But then it settles out and it's quiet and it's like, okay, we're in between waves, right? And I feel like I was just on that surfboard trying to stay up on those waves, and some of those waves got super high and I crashed into the water and got back up again, crashed into the water and just got swallowed by some waves. And I feel like that's what I just went through. And so I am kind of coasting. Like, I got that surfboard and I'm just, you know, kind of, it's not silence, but it's like waiting for that next wave to come. So yeah, so that's what it looks like right now. So I'll just be sharing that journey, y'all. Sorry if I rambled, but if you made it this far, then you know that this may be for you. You know, I don't. I just sometimes I don't have the words, but it's the truth, and this is where I am, and it's the top of the year. So let's see what I'll be saying January 7th of 2025, if it's the Lord's will.